Hi everybody, hope you're all well and safe today. Affinity Photo, that's all about photography, isn't it? Well, I thought I'd use it for a painting. Let's have a look how I got on. So I thought it would be fun to do a painting in Affinity Photo. I've used Affinity Photo a lot for editing photos and that kind of thing. I'm not a power user by any stretch. I just use a few commands of cropping and getting the exposure right and that type of thing. But I know it's got some paintbrushes. So, and I did try it a long time ago. If you look at one of my earlier videos, I did do a painting in this, but I'm going to try and do a pastel drawing. I'm sure if I was to do a search on the net, I would find lots of brushes perhaps, but I'm just going to have a go with some pastels. First of all, I need to fill in my paper. So I've just got a basic brush to start with, and I'm trying to get just a sort of a grey blue. So if I fill, there should be a fill option. There we are. I could have gone fill with primary colour, and that would have should have filled it with that grey. But I notice it gets a transparent. There, because I've got the transparency set on the colour wheel. I didn't notice that. Right, okay, let's try again. Edit, fill with primary colour. That's it. Is that the colour I want? I don't think that's too bad actually. I could go with that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And then I'm gonna change my brush. So we've got loads of brushes. They're not subtle brushes, they're not. And I was looking at one. I'm not sure if it was it this one? I don't think it was a pencil actually. No. Carpenter's pencil, that's interesting. It might have been textures. Nope. Let's just go through these and find something that texture. That must have been a brush that or a category I've set up a long time ago. Dry media, it was one of those. So let's just go through them and see what we get. I'm going to I need to another thing, when you do a fill on the paper, it's at that point it isn't set. You've actually got to click on this apply. And why has it gone white? Try again. Ooh. That was a bit laggy, wasn't it? Okay, let's choose my paintbrush. Make it a bit bigger. I'm just going to make it a lot. I'm just going to try a few of these. Well, that's quite cool. That's the first one. That's the 48. A bit bigger. Similar. Next one. That's a nice fine one. I guess this one's going to be quite solid. So these, as for pastels, would make pretty decent. I like that as well. Pretty decent brushes. So what I should do actually, I'm just going to step back. Create a new layer. Can I lock this layer? Yeah, I can. Get that one locked. Now I can start painting. So I've got a nice bit of a landscape going off. Just start getting in some of these pastel colours. Let's go with a top brush actually. Have I got brush selected? Yeah. There we go. Maybe even a bit bigger, sort of sweeping strokes with the side of the brush. Vary the colour a bit. This is a powerful, if you're not heard of Affinity Photo, it is a really powerful photo editing app, and a lot of people, prefer it to, say, Photoshop. So let's see how it works out for painting. So far, so good. I wonder if I ought to just sort of sketch something in a little bit, just to give me sort of an idea of where I'm going. If you know of any, if you've used Affinity Photo for painting and you know of any brushes that are available, just stick it in the comments. That could be quite useful. Because I wouldn't mind having a look to see if there's any brushes out there. I suppose really, I could have a go at making some. It's a bit high there. Let's just take that out. Just this nice little. I quite like this composition, this photo. I thought it worked quite well. I thought let's do it as a painting. Yeah. One, two, three. 1, 2. Let's just get a bit of colour in there so I know where I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Don't normally bother too much about counting gate posts and things. I'm normally just wing it. So that's a bit different for me. I'm getting fed up with drawing. Okay. I'm going to put a window in mine, just there. I think another window there. We've got this sort of fir tree. Actually, this building should be way over here. That's better. Right, let's get some colour on it and stop messing about. Oh, bit too severe that. Doesn't feel like if it feels a bit weird. It doesn't feel, for example, it doesn't seem to have the control. That's the word I'm looking for. The control that I've got in, say, Critter, which is a free app. I know because people are going to put it in the comments, this is not a painting app. I do understand that. This is a photo editing app. But, that's just trying it out just to see what I think, really. It doesn't seem to have that sort of subtle control that you've got in other apps. But it's also a bit laggy. I don't know if you noticed, imagine that is a big brush. And this is a big canvas, actually. I'm not being fair to the software. Let's see if I can document resize document. Yeah, 4,000 by 6,000. That is big, probably half as big again as what I'm normally working on. So to be fair, it's not really laggy at all. It's probably that I'm using a much larger canvas. The Alt key works just fine for selecting colour. I like that. I can just sort of switch between colours really, really quick. That's cool. Let's change the brush a bit, just because I can. Let's go with that one. I'm going to put some lighter colour over the top of that in a second. They are a bit, Jack, they're a bit clumsy, the brushes. They've not got nice defined sharp edges, but that could be the brush I'm using. Let's just try a different brush. Let's try this one. Actually, that is much better, yeah. Take that back then. Put that down like that. I don't want to go right the way across. With the fence right to the end. It's not. That's nice. I like that. So I'm trying to get. I've got to remind myself that I'm trying to get a pastel look to this painting. That's sort of all right. Let's go. Mixing up these colours. And I do kind of want it, I like pastels to be vibrant and in your face, really. So that's what I'm kind of going with colour wise. Ooh, that's a bit bright, but I think it might work. I like this brush. This is the where would it tell me? You know what? Oh, here we go. The 64 dry media. You might notice that it says that this picture is it's a .raf raw file, because what I did, and the reason the canvas was so big and I didn't realize it was that I took in a raw file, developed it, and then cleared it, just sort of emptied or filled the canvas with white or a colour, so that I could have exactly the same size canvas on the screen as what the actual photograph was. So that was the kind of logic behind that. Right, let's get a kind of a, I suppose we want a bluey grey for the ground there, which is pretty much what I've got for the paper colour. Gives a nice texture. Is that a bit too big, perhaps? It is coming. It's coming. Trust me. I'm getting into it now. If it did feel really weird, I mean, because there's so many commands to use on here. And like I say, you know, I've used it a lot for photo editing, so you can sort of change. You've got curves, you can change saturation, and you know, all those sort of typical photography things. But obviously, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to use it purely as a painting tool. There we go. Got this bit of a stone wall cutting through the fence. That's a bit too much. There we go. And we've got this mossy path as well. Be quite cool if I can get some of that in. Stick with that colour, but it's too green. I want it more yellow. That's it. There we go. Right, now let's get some foliage in. Bit darker stuff. Bit bluer. Bit lighter again. Maybe some smaller. Pick up that colour for there as well. A bit of yellow. I'm just looking at the photo and thinking, right, there's a bit of yellow there, I'll just add that. I can see a bit just here. Put a tad of that in. I could probably put a little bit in there. Right, now this fir tree then. It's here. That's better. Nearly put it in the wrong place. So just while I'm at it, just knock that out a bit. Yeah, that's looking good. It's looking good. I like it. Let's get that darker colour. I like to put darks in and then come over it with light colours. Maybe even smudge them out a little bit. There we go. Right, let's go with some light. I want to keep it bluish if I can. Put some lighter colour at the edge. While I'm at it, I'll do this tree as well. Oops. That's looking all right. I'm liking that. I could use a smudge brush, of course. Just yeah, the smudge brush. Just sort of push some of these colours out as you would in pastels. That's quite good. Of course, this app is available on the iPad as well. I'm using the desktop version here, but you could use this on the iPad quite easily. Just like pushing some of these edges in and smudging them out a bit. I just think that sort of gives it this sort of abstract quality that you get with pastels, which I really like. took this photo a couple of weeks ago while we were in lockdown, just to walk up the road. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm liking that. I'm liking it. Back to the brush. I want to add some highlights. A bit like that. Maybe. Yeah. I don't want to finish this. I'm just really enjoying it. Keep going for quite a bit, I think. I'm hoping you're still with me. So what do you think? Does it look like pastels? Are we getting there? It's definitely better than the last one I did, because the last painting I did was not very, it was really digital looking. Because to me, the answer, if it's worked, it's difficult to tell that it's actually digital, you know? It's got a much more organic look to it. I've missed one of the crossbars off on this fence. Off the gate. I ought to put that in, I suppose. Totally missed it. Right, let's put it in. Oops. Goes on the top, so kind of like that. And then down like that. That's it. I like my purples, you know. I do like purple shadows, nice warm shadows. I know it's not always, you know, we should be looking at sort of cools and things like that, but for me, I just like that. Purple edge, there we go. It's easy to come unstuck. Got a huge dark bit patch on the photo, and also you can see that little ridge of the window sticking out, which is too far close to the edge of the painting. I find that a distraction, so I'm leaving all of that out. I'm not going to put the chimney stack in. I don't think it needs it. It's just too close to the edge. fact, my building's that tree's quite dominant compared to the photo. Whoops, that's the wrong colour as well. I'm just wondering if I should try and put the tree trunk in. Just getting the colour right. And the tone. That's about it. Let's just make the brush a bit smaller. That's it. And then just a couple of branches. Maybe a bit thinner than that. On there. On there. On there. And then smudge brush. Let's just soften them off a bit. I'm feeling that this area here, this tree, needs a bit of shape. Just to define it a bit, it's just all looked a bit dodgy. That's better, a bit better. A little bit of work on the sky. Don't like that. Let's get rid of that. I like that blue, but I think it just needs to be a little bit grayer. I think actually, you know what? I think I need a little bit of warmth in that sky. Yeah, just flicking a few strokes in. I'm gonna have to just go in and tidy the tree up a bit. That's cool. We're getting there now. I'm liking it. Yeah, let me just go back to the trees and I will just tidy them up a bit. I like that sort of that purple colour like that. That adds a nice touch. There we go. At what point do I stop? That's the thing. Well, I've certainly enjoyed using using Affinity Photo, that's for sure. I really have. Let me know if you want me to do some more with Affinity Photo. Might be nice to do. See, I've just put a dark touch on the side of that the cap that's on the top of the post. And that just sort of, we've got this juxtaposition of light against dark. So where the tree is, we've got the light of the cap, and then where the sky's light, I've done the darker cap thing going off. There. I think I'm not far, I'm not far off from finishing it. I just need to work on these leaves a little bit, I think, down here. I unselected the brush somehow. Yeah, here we go. Just a couple of lighter ones. There we go. Oh, wrong colour. I wanted this dark blue. There we go. I'm thinking. Just define that a bit more. There we go. This is, I must be chilled out today. This is not like me just looking at details and things, and I just felt that fence needed just defining a little bit more. Yeah. And finally, I'm just gonna take that smudge brush again. Have I changed it? Yes, I have. Let's go with the smudge brush. Just soften off a few of those hard edges. I don't like to see straight lines. It's like I've just took all that time to make that nice and neat, and now I'm blending it off, especially at the edges. Notice that fence, the gate doesn't go to the edge. If I'd have painted that detail all the way to the edge, that would have totally just took you straight out of the painting, and that would not have been cool at all. That's a bit too much in it. I think I've finished, you know. I think I've finished. I could just put a little bit of... Yeah. Not much left to do. I could probably just lighten the path up a bit here. And a bit more. And that's it. There we go. Let's get it signed. Well, pastel drawing in Affinity Photo. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them with you. And don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.